Welcome back to Geriatric Mom's
Hello.
War Stories.
More birth stories, yes. Today it's Lena's turn.
I went with elective C-section, as you know, so it was pretty planned.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it, planned C-section.
Yes.
The actual birth was pretty straightforward, like cut you open, baby out, but obviously there was a bit more involved in that. Mia was actually supposed to be born the day before. So basically, when you have an elective cesarean, they give you a date, which is like a week before your due date, because they rather not have your birth start.
Yeah.
But actually, if it does start, you still get your elective. So they gave us a date, and we went to the hospital. You're not allowed to eat or drink. So basically, I was starving by the morning already. And we were just waiting. And because it was elective, all the emergency cesareans obviously went ahead. Yeah. So we were there waiting. Then 6 p.m. they said like, oh, you have to come back tomorrow. And I was like, oh, you can just imagine how starving I was. I was like, can I please get a sandwich? And then I went home and had a massive pizza.
Ooh, I had a pizza as well. That was my last meal before. No, I had a pepperoni pizza. What was your pizza?
I think it might have been a pepperoni as well. Maybe that's like a
Yeah, maybe that's
birth
tradition.
pizza.
Birth pizza. So was the birth the way you imagined it?
I don't know really what I was expecting, to be honest. I mean, if you want to have elective, in this country, you are allowed to request it. And it's not actually the case in most countries. But in here, the principle is that, you know, it's your body, it's your birth, you can decide what to do. Funny that. So, but you do have to go and see this consultant, was, I don't know, who kind of asks, like, are you sure? And I guess they try to put you off a bit.
Yeah. Were you scared?
I think I would have been scared if I had to do at normal birth.
Is that why you... Why did you go for C-section? I mean, what was the...
Well, it is linked to that, actually, because it's about 50% of all vaginal births have complications.
Yeah, and end in... Yeah.
Yeah, end in like emergency cesarean or those vacuum, whatever that is.
The clamps.
So I really didn't want that, and I just
You
thought
wanted to be in control.
yeah, and I was like, it's my body. If that's what I want,
Yeah.
I'll do
Okay.
it. I probably wouldn't have had a child if I didn't have the option, to be honest. But yeah, the actual birth is like they put a screen like here, so you can't see when they cut you open, which is nice.
And is that like under epidural or what?
Yeah, so they basically gave me some, I guess that's an epidural.
So you can't feel anything.
You can't feel any pain, but you can kind of feel
The tucking.
Yeah. Ben was like at my head end, and then when it was kind of time to lift the baby out, the doctor asked, like, do you want to ask Ben, do you want to see your son being born? And Ben was like, no thanks.
Wow, once in a lifetime opportunity.
But he was like, I don't want to see you cut open.
Yeah, I know.
When they kind of gave him over to us, his balls, his testicles were massive. And apparently we were like, oh my God. Luckily we knew, like we had been told in NCT class, that it's actually quite common for the babies, for their genitals, both girls and boys, their genitals might swell in the womb. But seriously, the balls.
Oh, Noah came with lots of black hair.
Yeah.
And obviously now he's a complete blondie. And then I remember I was kissing his head, and then it's like the hair was just coming off. It just came off, and he was a bit coney headed as well, and he had like birthmarks that have faded now a lot.
Yeah,
But
I remember.
Did you poo yourself?
No, you don't do that because you don't.
You don't have to push.
Yeah, you don't have to push. But yeah, so then after basically when they're born, they'll kind of they show the baby to you like this, whoop, like a beer can, whoop. And it's all covered in blood and stuff, and you're like, oh. And then they cut the umbilical cord, and then they just give the baby to you.
And did you keep the cord when it fell off? I've still got it.
What are you doing with it?
I don't know.
You're gonna eat it?
No.
Have a smoothie?
No, I've got it in a little box in my like special Noah box where there's like little like
Is
his
it
first.
rotting?
No, it's gone all dry and crispy. Ooh. So, but
Like bacon?
yeah, like a beef jerky, that sort of shriveled thing.
Nice.
So did you have to stay in hospital for long?
Yeah, I had to stay in a hospital for two nights. It wasn't the best. I mean, you know, you're in a ward with 3 other women and their babies, so nobody's really sleeping. And to kind of top it off, I had, like, the woman next to me was an addict, and her baby had like a addiction and stuff. So it wasn't the best.
Pretty grim.
Yeah, and I mean, you can pay to get a private room. It was like, I think back in those days it was maybe like £150 a night or something. And I was like, yeah, just give it to me. But they didn't have any available, so I just had to stay there. And after 2 nights, I was like, please let me go home.
Were you in pain? I mean, obviously you've been cut in half. But
Cut in half, like in circus.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you are in pain. It's an operation, so, but you obviously get good painkillers and stuff. Like after a week, I think I left the house.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think if you end up having emergency cesarean, the recovery is often slower than elective, because I guess because your body's not gone into labour.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like often you go into labour, you try to give birth for like 30 hours, and then they cut you open. It's like mega traumatic. But so I tried to avoid that.
Now, you obviously knew that you were going to be in the hospital for a bit longer. So what was in your hospital bag?
I think I did have there's like a million breast pads as well. One thing that I didn't have was that Lancing, that nipple cream. I got Ben to get some for me.
It's like a top tip.
Yeah, probably. And I did have some, you know, those big underwear and loose clothing and stuff, and some baby clothes and stuff. But I can't remember well. Camera, obviously, so I can take a picture of my baby.
Any regrets?
Not really. I think my only regret would be that one of the midwives told me that I should write and complain about the
Addict.
the being
sent home.
Yeah. So she was like, "That's not supposed. Like, you're not supposed to be left for a day and not no food and drink, and just being sent home." The reason why it happened was that because Eastbourne maternity unit had just been closed, and so basically they were just understaffed. Yeah.
Talking about regrets, I should have had some stuff for the midwife because she was lovely.
Oh,
I should have chocolates or something. You know, it would have been really nice.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You know, I'm sure I didn't even thank her. I was just like, ugh. And then she's
and also then the shifts and stuff, so you might not see them before you go.
So that's what I would have liked to have done. You know, there is a kind of like some shaming around having a elective C-section.
I think there's if you go to these horrible mum forums, there's like a people saying like, oh, you're not giving birth because you had a cesarean. Like the giving birth is that you have to push the baby through your vagina, which is ridiculous. Like, you know, giving birth is that you bring a child to the world. But yeah, I mean, what I would say, like my top tip apart from the nipple cream is that, you know, just don't let people tell you what to do. It's your body, your choice. Maya, shh. So basically, Mia has been asking for a pet for like ever, and finally we gave in and we got him an aquarium. Cost a bloody fortune. We got him 14 fish. 10 of them died within like a couple of weeks. Seriously, it's like a death pool.
This is very important.
Well, my it's also aquarium related. It's basically so Noah had for his birthday we got him a fish tank, and I really got into fish tanks. So I've now got a 110 litre one that I'm absolutely loving it, and I've also got Noah's one because I've completely taken over it.
Oh my god!
So it had like all these colourful bevels and like horrific neon figures in there. So I've all changed it. It's now like so dark, stark.
Oh no!
But it's really cool.
You've taken over his aquarium.
And
do you want to
really
take over ours as well?
Don't tempt me.
Thanks for watching. Do send us or comment below your birth stories.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear them. And come back.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Ciao, ciao.